Uncle Storytime, the Simonstown Whisperer. My husband and I moved into a house in Simonstown, Western Cape, in 2011. He worked abroad, and I was alone at home most of the time. Thinking back on visiting the house the first time with the estate agent, I should have trusted my sixth sense and walked out the door then and there. This is a double-story old home, renovated and gorgeous. It has a long flight of steps that lead up to the house from the street, large veranda and double doors leading into the entrance hall. On the left is the living room, and on the right is the entrance to the dining room and kitchen. From the entrance is a flight of steps leading to 3 bedrooms, with an open balcony looking down onto the living room. I love the open spaces, wood staircase, and farm-style kitchen. It truly is a very beautiful house and very cozy. This house was always very cold inside, regardless the fact that it has very large, sunny windows. I remember dreading having to use the stairs. It always felt like someone was walking behind you. And if you were in the living room, it always felt like someone was watching you from the stairs. I don't spook easily and actually do not believe in ghosts, but my experiences in this house has always haunted me because there was no logic to our experiences there. The day we moved in, my hubby was in SA and we had a couple of people helping us move in. I was in the main bedroom and clearly heard a woman's voice saying something in French, or what sounded like French. It sounded like she was right next to me, and I was alone in the room. I walked to the door, looked up and down the hallway. There was no one else upstairs at the time. I decided that it was my imagination and went downstairs. Unfortunately, I was wrong, because we would hear her talk often during our stay. We went to bed late that evening. My hubby woke up at 4 a.m. to the sound of running water. He investigated but could not find the source. While he was walking around the house, he heard a woman's voice say something in what sounded like French. I could not believe when he told me about it. Since I didn't mention my experience from earlier that day with him, it confirmed my experience, and that thought was scary. He was walking down the stairs and clearly heard this voice from the living room. Upon investigation, there was no one there. The house is not close to neighbors, so we didn't know what to make of it. 2 weeks later, I was home alone. Hubby was back in Dubai. I slept with the light on all the time. For the very first time in my life, at the age of 36, we had an alarm system. I often heard footsteps in the house, and our 2 dogs would react to this by barking and investigating. But there was never a source, and the alarm would not pick up any intruders or movement in the house. Our dogs would often sit in the living room with me and start barking at the stairs or refuse to go downstairs with us. They were annoyed and behaved out of character often while we lived here. My husband and myself woke up a couple of times because it felt like someone was watching you, or we would hear a loud thump coming from the kitchen. The source is still a mystery to us. I had guests over one evening. We were all sitting at the dining room table having dinner when someone walked by the entrance of the living room. Towards the stairs, my hubby and a friend investigated but could not find anyone. We all saw this. This happened many times during our time in this house. I was home alone watching TV one evening and saw someone walking by the entrance of the dining room. My dogs started barking. I was terrified and pushed the panic button on my alarm. The alarm company came out but found no one. My husband was cooking supper one afternoon. His back turned to the dining room. Someone walked in and stood right behind him. He thought it was me, but when he turned around to see why I wasn't answering him, there was no one there. I was outside. We would often find water puddles in the house, but could not explain where they came from. I also often experienced tapping on my shoulder. I thought it could be a muscle spasm, but never had them before or after we moved out. We lived in this house for 8 months. The constant stress, uneasy feeling, fear, and lack of sleep eventually got the better of me, and we moved out. We had many strange experiences there. Here, I mention just a few. It was only after we moved out and lived in a normal house again that we realized just how bizarre this all was. Looking back, I won't go into this house again and left some of my things behind, but didn't have the nerve to go back to get it. This house is often empty or has new tenants every few months. Story 2: The Old Man. For those that know Johannesburg, Florida, there are a lot of townhouses and complexes that are rather old. In saying that, there are people that lived there for a long time and also died there as well. My brother, after just getting married, bought a 2-bedroomed flat in Florida. Beautiful flat, but was always cold, even in summer. One day he calls me before the weekend and asked me to come and spend the weekend over to help him with something. I gladly accepted because I liked spending time with him and his wife and 2-year-old daughter. He had his first-born daughter at the time. As I got there, I took my stuff to my niece's bedroom, assuming that I would be sleeping in her room. I noticed that they have moved their belongings to the child's bedroom and moved her stuff to the main bedroom. I asked them about it, and they nervously said that he needed me to help him move the furniture from room to room. So I thought nothing of it and settled in. Night came, and after watching movies with them, we all headed into sleep. At the time, there was something called Mix It, and I was chatting for about an hour or so and decided to log off. I placed my phone under my pillow and laid on my right side. A few minutes passed and I felt my head going down in the pillow as if something was putting pressure down on the pillow in front of my face. I was so scared that I couldn't even open my eyes. I don't know how I ended up falling asleep after that, but the next morning I remembered what had happened. I explained to my brother what had happened, and he called his wife and sat down. He told me that I just confirmed that there was something, and they were not going crazy. He said there is an old man in that room, and convinced my niece to climb on a ladder and jump through the window. My sister-in-law got there just in time to catch her before she almost jumped to her death. After that, she asked her, and my niece told her mom that it was the old man that told me. That's how they moved their stuff into the other room. Sometimes after removing the batteries from toys, they still hear the toys making sounds in the closet or wardrobe. They have stayed there for 2 to 3 years until they decided to move out and buy a house in Triumph, Sophia Town, where some strange things are happening as well, but that's a story for another time.